Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, a lot more changes since my last video, guys. For those who watched, I made a lot of tests for the DC fast charging for the BZ4X. And after those 8 tests, which is the last video, which I'll be putting it somewhere here, I've done a lot more tests, substantially more tests. I even paid the TechStream system to go get the documentation from Toyota, which I will also share all the documentation I got. And honestly, guys, from all the readings I've done and all the tests I've done, I strongly believe that Toyota is not going to come up with the announced numbers for the DC fast charging. And for the benefit of the doubt, I even reached out to Toyota Canada just to get their answers and their head on this fast charging issue. And I still consider this an issue, as it is advertised as 100 kilowatt for the all-wheel drive in Canada, because we get the CATL batteries, and also 150 kilowatt for the front-wheel drive, which has a Panasonic battery. So I have the XLE, which is the all-wheel drive. And even after contacting Toyota Canada, which initially they were very interested in hearing me out, trying to understand my questions, because they were very, very technical. Obviously, with all the tests I've done, plugging in my AWD, like I said, guys, I've done over 25, 30, or even 40 tests. That's how many times I've actually gone out the house, discharged the battery. I've driven hundreds of kilometers just to discharge the battery and try to recreate the ideal conditions that Toyota mentioned, but they don't want to actually mention what those ideal conditions are. Hence why I downloaded all the documentation. And the answer from Toyota was, we cannot give you any answer. We're not allowed to give you any answer. We will not publicize or, give you information about future developments or improvements on the car. And that's after me watching the video from Bjorn in Europe, where he actually got contacted by Toyota Europe, I believe, which actually gave him all the information about the improvements coming from the Toyota BZ4X. So about the limitations of 2 charges per day, about the fact the gas odometer was showing ranges that are literally not accurate when you turn on or turn off the climate control. The fact that your consumption, the efficiency was way higher than what it's supposed to, because it was considering loss as well. So there's a lot of these information that was shared in Europe, but Toyota Canada doesn't want to share anything at all. I even mentioned the fact that, hey guys, I'm actually doing a video. I really need this information. I'm also an owner and I want to know what's in the hood of my car. So after all these back and forth and trying to find out and break my head on what are the ideal conditions for a BZ4X to fast charge properly at the advertised speed, I came to the conclusion that it's never going to be possible. And if it was, it's going to take forever for Toyota to even come up with a solution. And I doubt they will be doing it on the first generation of the BZ4X. So yeah, and I've bought this Toyota BZ4X full knowingly what the vehicle was capable of. I knew the limitations. I knew exactly what I was buying for, but I had hopes of at least the advertised speeds will be there, which wasn't in this case. I've tried 100 kilowatt chargers, which has limitations here in Quebec of 200 amperes. So I went to a 150 kilowatt, a 350 kilowatt. I've made sure the battery was preconditioned, and that's even hard because there's no preconditioning in this Toyota BZ4X. And that means I had to yo-yo the car and bring the temperature from 10 degrees to 20 to 25 degrees just to make sure that I'm testing this properly like Toyota wants me to at the ideal conditions. So the battery was preheated, let's say. The state of charge, every time I went to a charger, was under 10% and sometimes even 0%. I made sure I depleted the reserve of the battery. So I was at minus 8% technically. And I strongly believe, even if all these conditions are met, Toyota throttles down the speed because of the ambient temperature. So the ambient temperature is captured in the front on the, I believe it's a thermistor. Sorry if I don't pronounce it properly. And that what capture the temperature, the ambient temperature outside, and displays it in the cockpit and uses that as information for the the heat pump, but also for the charging. And by reading the documentation afterwards, I realized Toyota does take into consideration the ambient temperature of the climate to regulate the speed, and it tells the BMS how much to ask for when it plugs into the a DC fast charger. So I try to fake the ambient temperature, but it's impossible unless you literally cut the wire and you put some kind of control in there to increase or decrease the resistance of the thermistor to increase the temperature reading. I try to fake it. It didn't work because even Toyota puts another setting in there, is the temperature will not go up unless you're driving the car in order to counter effect the effect of the asphalt being hot. So if your car is stationed or driving at low speeds, the temperatures will not increase of the reading. Only at high speeds it will start reading increases of temperature. And this is all in their documentation, guys. I'll post it in the links. So all this to say, guys, I sold my BZ4X. I was over it. Toyota didn't want to help. The dealers didn't want dealers tried their best. They try to help me, but they have the same message. Toyota don't want to tell us anything. So the dealers try to help me. I got nothing at all. Toyota Canada didn't help me at all. And their official statement is, literally, we cannot give you any kind of information, even if they have them. So that's my understanding. So that's very unfortunate because I had a RAV4 Prime before, guys. And this was my jump to EV car, knowing all these other EVs available, the Ioniq 5, the EV6, ID4. Not all cars are perfect, but at least those have battery preconditioning and faster speeds. So yeah, I sold my BZ4X, guys. It's been only 3 months I got the car, and I was just fed up. And especially I have a family, guys. I have an 8-month-old daughter, and we do travel from Montreal to Toronto often. And having our trip prolonged by 2-3 hours is just not feasible for us. And I know it depends on the climate. Maybe in the summer, but even in the summer, I have to make sure the battery is over 20. It's not throughout spring or summer that you'll always get a battery over 20. Maybe you will, but not all the time. So that's why I figured I'm going to sell the car. It's not the right type of car for my needs. And that was the first step for me to actually realize that. And I ended up getting another car right away. I had to make sure I had another car available. I ended up buying an Ioniq 5. So that's the one you see, guys, behind me. So I ended up buying Ioniq 5 2022. It's the, I believe, the long range, preferred long range. It's not all-wheel drive, which is something I had on the BZ4X. It was all-wheel drive. This one is rear-wheel drive, which I'm not worried, even if I'm Quebec and there's a lot of snow, with good winter tires and the fact that, the car's balanced with the battery being underneath. I've read a lot of forums where people don't have issues with the rear-wheel drive with electric cars, and especially being with good winter tires. It does have battery preconditioning for 2023. This one's a 2022, so that means I need to get an update. So the update is available, so I booked an appointment for next week. I'll get that done, so I'll have battery preconditioning. But I've already tried to fast charge this, guys, on a 50 kilowatt and a 100 kilowatt. Even without the battery being preconditioned, I hit the max on each of them. I got 49 on a 50 kilowatt, and I got 88 on a 100 kilowatt. 88 being the max, guys, because the chargers here in Quebec, most of the 100 kilowatt are limited by 200 amperes. So when you go to 200 amperes, the max is 88 kilowatts you can get with this 400 volt architecture. So already there, that's a good sign for me. So I don't have to struggle, and especially the fact that I will have battery preconditioning, and this is perfect for me. And I switched to this car, knowing also the size. I thought the Ioniq 5 was small, but I opened up and I checked the Ioniq 5. It's almost the same size as a BZ4X, and in my perception is it's even bigger. Might be me. But I fit the stroller in there. I tried the stroller first. I had the baby seat. And in the front, the fact that there's no central column here, it's opened up a lot of space, and I can even put my bag or anything you want. So I think this is a good choice for me. But sadly, I have to leave Toyota, and I hope they do get back. I still have a deposit for the BZ4X, guys, which I've made a year and a half ago, a year ago. So hopefully they turn around and they do something better. But for now, it's going to be the Ioniq 5 for me going forward. And you'll be seeing a lot more videos for the Ioniq 5. I'll be doing most of the same modifications I've done on my other cars. So that means the dash cam, possibly. Oh yeah, by the way, we have no power for, I think it's the 4th or 5th days, guys. We're Sunday today. Since Wednesday, we have no power. We had a huge ice storm here in Quebec. No power whatsoever. Thank God, timing, I think it worked out. I bought the car on Tuesday, and I got the adapter for the V2L. I don't know if you guys see it here. The V2L adapter, I got it on Friday. So one day after my power went out, I got the V2L adapter delivered to my house, and I'm able to plug everything in the house that I need to. The fridge, the freezer, my internet modem. Even my furnace is running because it's a gas furnace, so it doesn't require electricity that much. I think it's 200 watts. And I can run 1,800 watts on this. That's plenty enough for running all the essentials. Anyways, I'll make another video on this. And thanks to Electron to sending me this. Timely manner, I think, would have been the best. I mean, it's the best timing ever. I got it the day after the power went out. So that's it, folks. Sorry for the monologue. I know there's not a lot of features or videos or showing stuff. Today was just letting you guys know that, sold the BZ4X and went with the Ioniq family, which I already have an Ioniq 2, by the way, guys. I have the Ioniq EV 2020, which was our second car with the BZ4X. But now we have the Ioniq 5 2022, and we have the Ioniq EV 2020. All right. So let me know, guys, what do you guys think about this move? I know a lot of you folks were following me for the BZ4X and for the Toyota brand, but I did change my YouTube channel as EV Dude to reflect any kind of EVs I will be eventually getting, and I guess this is the right move for me. If you disagree with me, I want to hear your opinions, and your comments about it. And if you agree with me also, if you're thinking about making this switch because you've tried also all these DC fast charging, I'd be interested to know your opinion as well. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you guys with other videos with the Ioniq 5, and take care.